Welcome back to the deep dive. You know how we're always talking about getting feedback from patients and clinical trial sites, right? Well, today we're taking a closer look at how we do that, because let's be honest, it's not always the most exciting topic.
Yeah, exciting might not be the first word that comes to mind, but it's definitely crucial.
Totally. And it seems like everyone's got their own way of doing it. Surveys, interviews, some are even dabbling in social media. But this excerpt got me thinking, what about combining all these methods? Like, what if instead of looking at them individually, we view them as parts of a whole?
Oh, I like where you're going with this. It's like, imagine trying to solve a puzzle, but you're only allowed to look at one piece at a time. You'd never get the full picture, right?
Exactly. This excerpt calls it a kaleidoscope of perspectives, which I think is a brilliant way to describe it. Each method offers a unique glimpse into the patient experience, and when you combine them, you get something much more vibrant and multifaceted.
Absolutely. A survey might tell you that patients are generally satisfied, but it doesn't tell you why. That's where something like an interview comes in, right? You can dig deeper, uncover the nuances, and really understand the why behind the what.
And those personal stories are so important, not just for understanding the patient experience, but also for improving trial design and execution in the future. But okay, let's talk about social media for a sec. I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical at first. It just seems like, I don't know, a bit of a minefield, right?
I get it, there are definitely some ethical considerations, but the potential is huge. Imagine a private online forum where trial participants can connect, share their experiences, and support each other.
Right, and that sense of community could be a major factor in patient retention, which is something a lot of trials struggle with.
Exactly. And there are ways to mitigate those privacy concerns you mentioned. Like some trials are using dedicated platforms with built-in privacy features, kind of like a closed social network specifically for research.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about finding the right balance, right? And it probably looks different for every trial. Like, you wouldn't use the same approach for a complex oncology trial as you would for, say, a dermatology study.
100%. It's all about tailoring your approach to the specific trial and patient population. And sometimes that means getting creative. One of the studies we looked at talked about using virtual reality to gather feedback.
Wait, really? VR for feedback? That's wild. Tell me more.
Yeah, apparently they had patients use VR headsets to essentially relive certain aspects of the trial experience, and it allowed them to provide much richer and more accurate feedback. Like instead of just saying the waiting room was uncomfortable, they could pinpoint exactly what aspects of the environment made them feel that way.
That is so cool. It speaks to this idea that we need to be more proactive and innovative in how we gather feedback. It's not just about checking boxes anymore. It's about meeting patients where they are and finding engaging ways to hear their stories.
And that's what it's all about, right? Making sure patients feel heard and valued throughout the entire trial process.
This has been eye-opening. It's clear that the future of clinical trial feedback lies in this kind of holistic approach, blending different methods and tailoring them to the unique needs of each trial. Thanks for taking this deep dive with me.
My pleasure. Always happy to chat about this stuff.
And for you listening, what resonated with you the most? What new possibilities are you considering for gathering feedback in your own work? Keep those questions in mind, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.